Guys, back here with another video, and in today's video we are going to be doing another math algebra 2. As you can see, I did post IC balance. I did post a video on how to create continuous compound equations. Go check that out. I do give a little more than the video offers, so please check it out. We're going to continue on that later, but these are just questions, simple problems that you're most likely going to see on the Regents exam and maybe in life later on, who knows. But you're gonna see it and you're gonna want to keep these values and these steps to later solve bigger problems. So we're giving another compounded monthly question, but this is not continuous compound. This is compounded monthly. This was on a quiz that I've taken just like the previous video, and it says Nancy invests $500 in a bank account. Keep in mind, when it says invest 500, usually that's the initial value, but we'll keep on reading. In a bank account with nominal, annual and stuff like that. Nominal, don't let this word trick you up. Nominal 2.5 interest and compounded monthly. Let's highlight that red. Compounded monthly. How much years will Nancy have by the end of 3 years? By the end of 3 years. So first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to remember our equations. So we're going to do C of t as usual. C of t equals to initial value p plus it's initial value times, if it's increasing 1 plus, it would be 1 minus if it's decreasing, but usually when it's compounded monthly, it's increasing, so 1 plus your percentage, but in decimal form, take decimal, move it over 2 times to the left, decimal form, 1 raised to rate, but see that this would be a regular compounded question. So if it says 2-point interest compounded annually, it would simply be this equation. But we're given, that's why I underlined it red, compounded monthly. So what compounded monthly means is that you're taking this annual and compounding it every month. So you're taking 0.025, since there's 12 months in a year, dividing 0.025 by 12, and that's what you're compounding every year. So every month you're compounding this much, take that divided by 12, and that's what you're compounding every month. And you're taking n, 12 equals n, but that's not there, let's get 12 equals n, and you're taking 12 and raising it times t. So let's go over what each thing represents. So p equals initial value. That's what p equals. N, oops, that doesn't belong there. Let's get rid of that, right? Don't want anything that doesn't belong there. N, which is 12. This is what your equation is going to look like. Boom. So let's rewrite this, right? P times 1 plus r, rate of change, over n, raised to n times t. That's your equation. Boom. We won't, let's print the screen and then exit out because this thing's annoying. Sorry about that. P times 1 plus r over n, rate of change divided by n, which is what you're compounding by. So if it says compounded monthly, divided by 12. If it says compounded quarterly, divided by 4. If it says compounded annually, divided by 1, or leave it the same. Times raised to n times t. So p equals initial value. R equals percentage, or rate of change. N, what you're compounding by. What you're compounding by. Sorry, connected. Let me finish. Hold on. Sorry, my handwriting. It's hard to write in this. I gotta get used to it. What you're compounding by. And then t, simply as we discussed in previous videos, equals time. So now that we got that, we want to substitute. So we're given information based. Capture this in your head, write it down, take a picture of it. Make sure you have this because I'm going to be scrolling down and I don't want you to get confused. So now that you have a picture of it, a screenshot, you wrote it down, you can pause the video obviously. So we're given 500 equals, let's figure out what information. So P equals 500, N equals 12, and R equals 0.025. So this is the information we're given, and we're going to use the equation that we created before to first create a equation. So C of t equals initial value, so P 500 times 1 plus 0.025 R divided by N 12 raised to 12t. So this is our equation, but we're not done yet. What the question is asking us to, and I'm going to need my calculator for this. Let me get for these next parts. You're gonna hear a lot of messed up stuff, but they're asking, if you look back at the question, how much will Nancy have by the end of 3 years? How much will Nancy have by the end of 3 years? So, unlike the last video that we were given, we're finally given time. And in the last video, I mentioned this. If they're trying to, how much money will this person have in a certain amount of years? If you're given years, that means t has an actual number. So you're going to take that number, the years that they give you, and substitute it for t. So C of t, which is 3 years in this case, because they're asking you by the end of 3, that's what we're substituting t for, equals 500 times 1 plus 0.0 divided by 12 times 12 times 3. Let's start simplifying. Use your ordering of operations PEMDAS. Make sure you're doing this properly, because if you mess up and you put it into your calculator incorrectly, you will have different numbers. C of 3. Let's simplify what's in parentheses first. So I'm gonna divide by 12. You can hear my calculator, and you can really get a long number, but we're gonna add that to 1. So it's gonna be approximately 1.00208.3, right? That's the number, and 12 times 3 equals 36. I'm gonna use a different calculator from here on out. And now let's exponents come first, so raise that times that to the 36. You're gonna get approximately 1.077, around there. Multiply it out, so C of 3 equals times 500 equals about 500. And after you multiply it out, you get 5, approximately, round to the nearest tenth, or 100th most of the time. 90.90. That is your answer. That's the answer to this question. And they could give you this problem and make you do the reverse. Like, say the problem instead asks you, how much time will it take for Nancy to get $538.09? And you have to solve for t, and you would come to 3 years. But in this case, they just simply want you to substitute, get it really fast. Once you get used to it and the equation, it's going to be P times 1 plus R over N, close parentheses obviously, times NT. So that's the equation that you always want to keep in your mind, because it's going to be with you. It's the same equation always. You can work backwards, you can work forwards, and you can work in all different places with these equations. In the last video, I did go backwards, so I did continuous compound before I did compound at all. So this is a question that was on my quiz, and I thought I'd share it with you. Again, make sure to, on the last video, comment, subscribe, ask any questions that you may have. I'm actually in Algebra 2 right now, so ask any questions that have anything to do with exponential functions and back, for example, quadratics, polynomials, functions, logs, graphing exponential functions, graphing logs, solving for solutions, zeros, all those types of stuff, anything other than trigonometry itself, and ask away. I can also do chemistry, parts of geometry and earth science. I can also answer any philosophical questions. No, I can't, but I could. And biblical questions. I can also do any bass guitar questions. For example, right now I'm learning modes, so you could ask away on that. Major scales, major pentatonic, gospel bass, stuff like that. Ask questions. It's good if people are willing to give you knowledge. Always take it. It's a good way to live your life, wanting to learn. But for now, this is all that's in this video. We're going to try to do some more questions based upon my quiz that I have here. There are a few more questions that I would like to show. There's one more question that I want to show you, but we'll save that for another video. Yeah, a few more questions. This is a log quiz, so hopefully this has helped you in any way it possibly could. It's obviously not the best. There's a lot of noise. I will be trying to get a better mic, hopefully, and editing these videos better, but for now, this is the best I can do. But the thing about my videos that makes it different is that I'm very persistent and I give it my all. And if you guys really want one-on-one help for free, and these are for the people that at least stayed or skipped to the end at least. I didn't say this in the beginning, but if you guys want one-on-one help for free, I could give it to you. Because I often think that people now these days, they want money, and obviously I see where they're coming from, but I'm doing nothing, especially with the coronavirus and all of online learning. So you want as much learning as you can. So I'm going to make this an open platform where I can teach you anything I know fully and I've mastered myself. For example, balancing equations, solving nuclear chemistry, all these types of stuff. You can ask me. It's not as hard as they seem. Don't think nuclear chemistry is hard. It's not. Well, high school chemistry is not hard. AP World, if you ever want to know that too. Stuff like that, yeah. Just, I'll be posting this on multiple sites. Hopefully someone will come back to me. But this is an open site. Make sure to comment, subscribe, like, stuff like that as usual. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Or I'll talk to you guys.